The Trump administration has been gearing up to implement its infrastructure plan, but that plan is likely to involve Congress, which is united in its desire to pass a bill. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
At a congressional forum in Washington, everyone seemed to agree that America's infrastructure, subways, bridges, tunnels, and highways, is crumbling. And a plan for restoring American infrastructure may be one area where Democrats and Republicans in Congress agree with the Trump White House, says Texas Congressman Blake Farenthold.
The Trump administration is committed to infrastructure, and that's a bipartisan issue. So I think this is something that is going to be a win for the Trump administration, both with the Republican base and with the Democrats. So I think it's an opportunity to move something that's going to be great for the nation forward without some of the rancor that we're seeing right now with some of the things the president's working on.
So President Trump's $1 trillion infrastructure plan, which he promised in his February speech to Congress, enjoys broad bipartisan support. But the question of how do we pay for it looms large, says Farenthold.
We need roads, we need bridges, we need waterways, our airports need updating, we need broadband expanded throughout the country, our electrical grid needs upgrading. There's lots of work to be done. The question is, how much does the government pay for, how much does the private sector pay for, and how can the government encourage the private sector to invest in infrastructure?
And encouraging the private sector to invest in infrastructure could be a big piece of the funding puzzle, says another participant in the panel, Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
What we're looking for in the Senate is a portfolio of funding options to match the portfolio of infrastructure demands that we have to meet. Some of it obviously has to be direct government spending. Some of it can be things like the bipartisan idea of an infrastructure bank or facility funded by offshore funds that are being returned. WIFIA and TIFIA both exist out there already as water and transportation infrastructure finance facilities. And as the congressman mentioned, there are places like airport development where the financing restrictions on airports right now prevent private capital.
Coming up with a $1 trillion infrastructure package sounds like a pretty big deal. But despite the eye-popping number and questions about how to fund it, a $1 trillion infrastructure package is likely to be an easy bipartisan lift compared to health care and tax reform. John Hines, One American News, Washington.